Welcome back to Everything Money. We're glad you joined us. AMC, the movie theaters back in the news. Paul and I used to go to movies together. Not together. We went to the same movie theater as youngsters back in 1994, 93-ish.
I still love going to movies.
I love movies too. I took my wife's dad to a movie, and he's that guy, Mo, that's chewing like the softest part of the movie. He's reaching in that popcorn box, making all the freaking noise. I almost had to sit away from him. But AMC's back in the news. The stock's going bonkers. It has been for a couple weeks. And frankly, I'm confused. If you're a normal person like me, you might be confused about what the heck's going on out there. I think the key to this video is we want you to learn the mindset of when all your friends are getting involved in this craziness, should you? Are you missing out? That fear, that FOMO, that normal people like yourself usually flock to this channel when the days are red, when things go bad, and we need coddled by my Uncle Paul to learn what the heck's going on. Paul, I have a little FOMO here because everyone else is just getting in. You see all the tweets. Everyone's making a ton
Do you
of
really
money.
have FOMO about this?
I mean, like, you know, I'm here. Tell me why I shouldn't. Because
I mean, do you actually feel like, oh my God, what am I missing here?
A little bit. I mean, Mo talked about it. Like, if we will follow the chart, Mo even tickles in his morning show. Like, if you can follow the 15-minute charts, you might be able to make some money.
That's what I got right here.
So I'm like, oh boy, let's go.
So first off, most important question we have here is what go-to candy are we doing at the theater?
Well, so what I do, which I love, in my chubbier days, Paul, you know, I'm so lean and
You're so
fit
very
now.
lean.
Yeah. I mean, but I love the tub of popcorn, and then you put the M&Ms into popcorn. You know
So
that.
I saw this the other day on Curb Your Enthusiasm, where his date was putting M&Ms and Sour Patch
No,
Kids or something,
I can't
and the
do that.
popcorn all together.
Sour Patch and popcorn.
Yeah. By the way, I love Sour Patch Kids with M&Ms. And by the way, I turned off the light in the basement from the other day. In the theater room in the basement, I turned the lights off.
I think Mo left that on.
Seth and Nate came over the other night just to hang out. Seth got us Sour Patch Kids. I go to bed that night. I'm like, why is there a glow in the... Oh, the lights are on. Thank you, Seth. But I love taking the M&Ms and the Sour Patch Kid together and eating them. It tastes wonderful.
Keep going. Tell me about
Anyhow,
AMC.
Guys, AMC is the theaters, okay? Not to be confused with AMCX, which is AMC Network, which is a
Little book stock.
little book that beats the market stock,
I own
okay?
this. Yeah, I own this.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Mo and I loved it last year at $25 a share, and now it's at like $70 a share, something like that. AMC theaters obviously shut down completely last year because of COVID, because you couldn't imagine a worse place to be than a movie theater with a bunch of people around you, all eating and spitting out stuff with no masks on, etc. So if you guys look at their revenue here, as from our trusty Everything Money software at patreon.com,
Slash everything money.
for 80 cents a day, you can have this. Look at this revenue drop. You ready? 3 billion, 3.8, 5.2, 5.3, 5.2, half a billion. I mean, this is an 85% drop in revenue, guys. But like CCL, this is a company to look at and pay attention to and say, okay, let's look at their net income. Let's look at all these things they're doing. Oh my God, they still lost a lot of money even the last few years. Okay, so this is the first question I have, guys. First question I have is, when they were bringing $5 billion in revenue, why were they still losing money hand over fist? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm sure this part ended here. This $2.2 billion loss, Seth, ended in March of 2020. So I'm sure there's a lot of COVID-related charges in there. But even then, even before with billions of dollars in revenue, they weren't making a ton. They were doing okay. So what we're trying to do here is figure out, what's this company going to be worth? I'm not going to do an 8-pillar analysis of this company because let's just skip to the 8 pillars right here, Seth.
Yeah, boy.
Look at this beauty. How often do we get, even Tesla doesn't have all X's. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, this is not something to sit there and say, I'm avoiding it. No, because there is an outlying situation that occurred. COVID occurred. Everything shut down. This, not relevant right now. I love the 8 pillars. Don't even look at it. But I will say, the one thing I don't like, Seth, is
Look at that.
their shares outstanding increased by 300%. Folks, that doesn't mean tripling. That means quadrupling their shares. 300% is a quadrupling of shares.
But
okay?
that doesn't matter, Paul.
Yeah, so that's being sarcastic. That matters immensely because when they come... Now, the idea behind it was probably, listen, we need to stay in business. We need to issue shares to get some cash in and go do... As opposed to issuing more debt.
Cruise lines did it.
Cruise lines did it. Not to this level.
No, not to that
I mean, as
level,
an
but
example,
same
let's look at CCL. Let's pull up CCL and see... let's see what CCL was. So CCL, in the last 5 years...
The software looks incredible behind you, Paul.
Wonderful. 45% increase. Yes, thank you very much, Seth. This is beautiful software. We can all thank Tim and our developers. 45% increase versus 300%. Guys, night and day difference. So it is understandable to issue shares when your stock is expensive in lieu of issuing debt. I get that. But so the way you're going to look at AMC is you're going to look at it and say, okay, if this company comes back to normal, what can I expect? Now, what's going on right now? Why is the price $28 or whatever it is today?
30, yeah.
From $2. It's called a short squeeze. What does that mean? What's a short squeeze, guys? Anybody want to tell us?
You explain it.
Okay, so short squeeze, guys, is when you short a stock, you're betting against the stock. You borrow somebody else's shares and sell them in the market. As the stock price goes up, you lose money. As the stock price goes down, you make money. Got me so far?
Yeah.
Yep.
When the stock starts to creep up, you might be like, listen, I'm out of this trade. So you have to buy back shares from the market to replace the shares that you borrow from somebody else. When that happens a lot, buying the shares back makes the stock price go higher and higher and higher. If it happens in a perfect kind of situation, it can make the stock price go parabolic. So look what happened here in the last 6 months.
The all-time high for this stock was around $35. It's almost reached its all-time high. Isn't even open. So the news is they don't need masks anymore, right? They're just going to go full McGillicuddy, get in there and watch these movies.
So look at this. The stock went from $2 a share in January to $20 a share, fell back to $6 a share, and now it's at $30-some a share.
Mm-hmm.
These are short squeezes. These are when all of a sudden, or by the way, now the recent one has been accused of being Reddit followers, have been hyping it. Mm-hmm. The bottom line is, guys, there is no fundamental reason to be looking at the stock and saying, yes, it should be up to almost all time. Like Seth said, the all-time high in history of the stock is back in 2015, March of 2015, at roughly $35 a share. Guys, at that point, it was making money. It was doing a bunch of other things. It's like, do you really, 2015, it had $3 billion in revenue in the next year and generated $126 million in profit in that next year. This is going to be a company that's going to take some time to get back, but it will get back. Without going too much into it, the sole reason I'm avoiding this company,
Go ahead.
even if the price was selling for where it wanted to sell, is the number of shares outstanding.
What about normal folks at home seeing all their friends on Facebook getting into this? What should we be doing?
So I want you to take a step back. And everybody at home who's watching, you have a job and you're good at your job. What if everybody in the world was suddenly really, really good at your job? Does that even make sense? For everybody in the world to be really good at your job, average people who have no clue what's going on in the world. That's the world of investing right now. Everybody's an expert. When we're on Market Watch and I see, hey, come watch this high school kid's portfolio. I'm literally like, let's go talk to the 7-year-old Bitcoin expert.
Remember when Seth showed us the video of like the 13-year-old kid?
Which one? Oh, yeah.
Like how I made $75.
Now I would say
coming from $1.
we've had a 10-year-old on this show, but he certainly knows his stuff. He's watching a lot of a lot of the shows.
Isn't he 11 now?
He just turned. We've had a 10-year-old on the show, Paul.
Oh, we have.
Remember,
correct. When he was on the show before, he was 10. And even then, he's around us and he's understanding, like, why are we buying Bitcoin? This is stupid. So I just don't, when we say, look at the AMC thing, let's go to Mo on the trading side, because I really think the only way to make money in this company is trading.
What do you got, Mo?
So the best way to go about this, and people in the Bidnass Nation are doing this like crazy. We have one patron named Gianni. He traded this thing 6 times in one day last week on this Thursday that they had the run. So really what this comes down to is following basic rules. You have your stochastic line right here. This is the same thing as that trend line that I always show you on the bottom of the charts. This is just a 15-minute period. Each one of these candlesticks is 15 minutes. So you're taking one daily candlestick and opening it up, and that's what you have here. So all you really need to do is look for your stochastic to be over 80% with engulfing candlesticks like these 3 right here. And that's how you're making money on this thing. As soon as this red line drops below 80%, exit your position and move on. It's that simple. That's all it is. The next time you're below 80%, it pops up over 80%. You have this sideways line for you, and look at that climb that it makes with these nice engulfing candlesticks. This candlestick, it dropped down below 80% here, exit your position. That's how easy it is to go in and just follow my rules, and you can make money on this. There was people making 6% in 15-minute period.
Come on.
Because all they're doing is just Adding on an engulfing candlestick as soon as it drops below 80%, exit your position. That's it.
So guys,
This is how you go make money there.
And that's exactly, so the whole point of calling it everything money is there's a lot of ways to make money, and we're going to talk about every type of way to make money. I don't do charts. Seth and Mo do charts. For companies like this with a lot of hype and a lot of volatility, that's when you can make money buying and shorting stocks with these methods. But you gotta stick to a process that is proven to work and stick to it like it's your job, because it is your job. Don't deviate. The second you start going, well,
The news
I know,
says this, or my friend on Facebook says this, or
then you're gonna lose. Every single time human emotion enters into a process and into a system, it ruins the process and system. It absolutely does. You gotta just stick to it like clockwork. This is the discipline that I learned I had recently. Not because recently I had it, when I look back in the old days of me going to casinos and sticking to basic strategy and seeing all the idiots at the table going, well, I just saw, that guy had a lot of 10s, so I'm gonna stay right here. It's just like, no. When basic strategy was calculated based on all the situations happening, you stick to a long-term process. Mo's long-term process with engulfing candlesticks and 80% and all these stochastics and all these things, it works. Stick to it, don't question.
I'll give you an example. So Gianni, the reason he was in and out so many times is because when this number was over 80%, as soon as it would drop into 79, he would exit the position. 2 seconds later, it can pop back into 80 and start going up again. Then he would re-enter the position. So he was following the rules, and any time that number dropped below 80%, he was exiting. And that is why he had a successful week on Thursday. That's all
the 15-minute chart?
That's the 15-minute chart, yeah.
So how do you trade so fast on 15-minute?
You sit there and you are ready to enter.
Seriously?
And exit. Yeah.
Sounds
It's great.
kind of
It works.
exhilarating.
You can make a
and
lot
fun.
of money doing this.
Interesting, Paul.
Yeah.
I see that.
But you need a lot of volatility, don't you?
The more volatile, the better. I mean, if you're going to go in there, it's very difficult to trade like an AT&T.
Sure.
I mean, you want a little bit of volatility. It doesn't need to be insane like this, but you can capitalize on.
I mean,
like
I don't know
this.
much about this stuff, but when you say engulfing candlestick, there's like 9 in a row right there.
So that's why you could just stay in it. You could buy it here on this engulfing candlestick, and then you just have a lot of confidence that you could stay in this thing and just keep riding it up. And it's really fun to watch the next engulfing candlestick over and over, and you could see your account just going up higher and higher. It's pretty great.
Are you doing this today, or?
I am not. No, I don't trade on 15-minute charts. It's just too time-consuming for me to sit there at a computer all day. But there's people that do. I used to do it, and I was making a lot of money when I was doing this.
But the thing that is big here is if you want to be involved in AMC, because like Seth said, your friends are all talking about it, your family's all, then go get involved in this one. You have a process for it, and you don't have to just like, hey, I bought AMC and it went up like this. I sold it this, and it just fine. It's just enjoy yourself. GameStop is doing the same thing. I mean, what's GameStop doing lately?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Well,
you want to put the go?
I think the point is, Paul, is you mentioned having a process, but this is a learned process from Mo with strict rules. I'm sitting there thinking, I should trade this today, but I'm not really still too keen on my rules. And so if you're going to jump in this because your uncle's in this, I'm guarantee he probably doesn't have any rules he's sticking by. He might just be watching the news. So be careful, and if you want to be more informed, you can join that Bidnass Nation in the Patreon. The link is in the description below.
And with joining the Bidnass Nation, you still get all the software here. So even if you like fundamentals, you learn everything. You learn fundamentals, you learn chart reading. We're gonna have momentum trading soon on futures and commodities. This is, for literally, I think it's a little over 80 cents a day, a little under 80 cents a day right now. You can have this software, and the price goes up every single month. So in 2 years, when the software is $50, $1.50, $1.60 a day, you're going to be still at your 80 cents a day. Doesn't make any sense not to, and you'll be involved in the Discord, which means you can talk to everybody about these exact conversations about these. Hey, what's everybody looking at today? Oh, we're looking at this. Great, let me go trade this thing.
That's our take on AMC. Be careful out there and follow along. We'll do more videos on this. Fairly interesting stock. Definitely a fun one. And if you're trading it, I'm certain you're having a good time. If you're sticking by Mo's rules, of course. So that's our take. Take a little thumbs up on the way out. Patrons, I love you. See you on the live stream, guys. Love you.